I think if you're running a public podcast that's being influenced by a foreign government and you're in the United States and you're being paid to like promote their propaganda, I feel like that is worthy of conversation, you know? I think that should be talked about. Okay, so Tim Pool is like a really big podcaster. I don't know if he is a conservative, but he kind of has like a conservative viewpoint. He definitely is on that side of the spectrum. I guess he has more conservative guests, I would say. When Destiny made his comments about Trump, he said Destiny was banned from his show. I recognize this guy. This guy was at the Alex Jones debate I went to that I filmed. This guy right here. He got really frustrated at one point. But I did go there. Tim Pool, like Tim Stool, you got him. You destroyed him. But he's having some big allegations right now through some kind of indictment, I think, is going on. So I kind of want to get into this and see what's going on here. When were these tweets made? Okay, so I have his statement. Where is the original allegation? A lot of different places writing about this. I've got an article here from Wired. I don't know how accurate Wired.com is. We can read the article and read Tim's response. I'm not going to subscribe to Wired. Off. Jesus Christ. Daily Dot. Are they going to try to charge you to read the article? All right. Media startup from Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, and Dave Rubin was secretly Russian influence campaign, indictment alleges. Famous pro-Trump commentators may have been unwittingly duped. A media startup from reactionary luminaries such as Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, Dave Rubin, Lauren Southern, and others secretly received funding from Russia, a new federal indictment alleges. The Department of Justice charged 2 employees of Russia Today. Russia Today is the state-funded news network, RT. Right, Russian state-funded news. Oh, do they not have a YouTube channel anymore? Did they get banned? Oh, I didn't even know that they got banned. Well, I used to see their videos all the time on YouTube, but I guess they're not on YouTube anymore. RT is a Russian state-controlled international news television network funded by the Russian government. It operates paid television and free-to-air channels directed to audiences outside of Russia, as well as providing internet content in Russian, English, Spanish, French, German, Arabic, Portuguese, and Serbian. So essentially, the deal with them is that they're literally paid by the Russian government to spread, I guess, propaganda for them, right, from a Russian perspective. The DOJ charged 2 employees of Russia Today with violations of the Foreign Agents Registration Act, saying they took part in a $10 million scheme to create and distribute content to U.S. audiences with hidden Russian government messaging. The press release from the DOJ said that Russian state broadcaster RT orchestrated a massive scheme to influence the American public by secretly planting and financing a content creation company on U.S. soil. Foreign Agents Registration Act. I assume this has something to do with, like, if you're a foreign agent and you're funding media in the United States, you need to disclose that you're a foreign agent. Let's see here. FARA. The Foreign Agents Registration Act was enacted in 1983. FARA requires certain agents of foreign principals who are engaged in political activities or other activities specified under the statute to make periodic public disclosure of their relationship with the foreign principal, as well as activities, receipts, and disbursements in support of those activities. Disclosure of the required information facilitates evaluation by the government and the American people of the activities of such persons in light of their function as foreign agents. The FARA unit of the Counterintelligence and Export Control Section, CES, in the National Security Division, NSD, is responsible for the administration and enforcement of FARA. CES. What is the CES? CES, U.S. Government. Current Employment Statistics? Bureau of Labor? Counterintelligence and Export Control Section. Okay, I'll look that up. National Security. The Counterintelligence and Export Control Section supervises the investigation and prosecution of cases affecting national security, foreign relations, and the export of military and strategic commodities and technology. The section has executive responsibility for authorizing the prosecution of cases under criminal statutes relating to espionage, sabotage, neutrality, and atomic energy. Interesting. Okay, so the government's really coming down hard on this Tenet Media Group. Was Tenet Media funded by Russia? Although the company isn't listed in the indictment, context clues reveal it's most likely Tenet Media. On its website, U.S. Company 1 describes itself as a network of heterodox commentators that focus on Western political and cultural issues and identifies 6 commentators, including Commentator 1 and Commentator 2 as its talent, the indictment alleges. On YouTube, Tenet Media describes itself as a network of heterodox commentators that focuses on Western political cultural issues. Its homepage highlights 6 commentators: Rubin, Johnson, Poole, Southern, as well as Taylor Hansen and Matt Christensen. I know who Dave Rubin is. The Rubin Report guy. Interesting. Tim Pool, Lauren Southern. I don't know who Taylor Hansen and Matt Christensen are. Are they both conservative commentators? Taylor Hansen. Internet personality. This guy. Fox News Tonight, Timcast IRL, and Prime News. Who's this other person? I know who Lauren Chen is. Matt Christensen. Got Christian in the name. YouTuber and podcaster talking politics and culture from the refuge of a wilderness forest. Thank you for protecting my identity. I'll address the story on my own channels tonight. I can confirm my own experience is the same. At no point has anyone ever directed me what to say or what not to say, and I would never agree at anything otherwise. My videos and streams for Tenet are exactly the same videos and streams on my personal channels. Every word is from me and me alone. Chen is listed as a contributor on Russia Today's site, which is mentioned in the indictment. Lauren Chen, I remember her from back in the day. She's been around for quite a while. Yeah, this girl. She's on The Blaze.
Tonight is dating.
One of the Blaze guys asked me to do an interview. Elijah Schaefer asked me for an interview at some point. Like I said, if I was ever in Miami or something, I might do it. But he asked me for an interview. See, she's one of the people who, you know, I don't know what she's talking about. Maybe it is interesting. Maybe it's not. Maybe she's got great commentary. But personally, I prefer to just mute, you know. I prefer to mute, but, I mean, visually, you know. It is what it is. Founder 1 and Founder 2 also worked together to deceive two U.S. online commentators who respectively have over 2.4 million and 1.3 million YouTube subscribers. On YouTube, Rubin has 2.4 million and Johnson has 2.39 million. Tim Pool has 1.37 million followers. On October 23rd, 2023, Pool highlighted the launch of Tenet. In a hype video, Pool said, "I worked for several massive corporate news organizations. What did I learn? They lie. Their agenda matters more than the truth." The indictment claims the personalities on Tenet were not aware of the backgrounds and intentions of the two Russians, and that the funding from the company came through a Canadian shell company from a front named Eduard Grigorian, who did not exist. Whoa. So the U.S. government is alleging some like crazy conspiracy here of the Russian government to like literally influence YouTubers to spread their propaganda. And they're saying the YouTubers didn't even know. In it, they did note the fake founder may come across as too woke, flagging a commitment to social justice found in his profile. Regardless, they went along with the deal. Well, the news came as a shock when the company launched. Numerous posters were initially suspicious. Who is funding this? Asked the Quartering. Did he ask that? Watch Tenet now. Launches November 6th. I'm excited to be a part of the project. Matt, who's funding this? What is this?
Anti-establishment or right
independent media network
wing or dissident media is just there's slurs slung at the people who are doing news correctly.
When the media says dissident or anti-establishment, I mean, when I hear it, I think base, very cool.
This is a crazy, like, promotion video. What is this?
Cool.
Free speech is under attack that we
uncensored, unapologetic, unafraid. Why is this so shitty quality? Why was this made in like Windows Movie Maker?
Maybe they take us down individually. It's a lot harder.
These people have millions of dollars. Why are they making such a motion
when we're grouped together in this way? I worked for several massive corporate news organizations. What did I learn? They lie. Their agendas matter more than the truth.
Independent media, actual media's most important job is holding these people accountable.
The challenge for all of us is to not be passive participants in letting the country slip away.
I find these people pretty corny, to be honest with you. This is like the Avengers of online grifters, wrote another. In a statement on X, Poole said if the indictment was true, he was a victim and that he and other personalities were deceived. Let's see his statement here. My statement regarding allegations in the DOJ indictment. Should these allegations prove true, I, as well as the other personalities and commentators, were deceived and are victims. I cannot speak for anyone else at the company as to what they do or what they are instructed. What did Tenet actually do? They just gave them money for nothing and gave them money to like make this media coalition? Maybe, I mean, you know, we don't really know what's in the indictment right now, but whatever the, you know, U.S. government is alleging, maybe the Russian plan hadn't gone through all the way yet. The Culture War podcast was licensed by Tenet. It existed well before any license agreement with Tenet, and it will continue to exist after any such agreement expires. The only change in the agreement was that the location of the live broadcast moved to Tenet's YouTube channel. I and TCW never produced any content for Tenet Media. Never at any point did anyone other than I have full editorial control of the show, and the contents of the show are often apolitical. Examples include discussing spirituality, dating, and video games. The show is produced in its entirety by our local team without input from anyone external to the company. TCW is a separate company, not associated with timcast.com or other properties. It exists solely for the production of the Culture War podcast. That being said, we still do not know what is true, as these are only allegations. Putin's a scumbag. Russia sucks donkey balls. And to the journalists who wish to jump the gun, create their own narrative, rely about what's currently going on, you can eat my Irish ass. Correct. You can eat my Irish ass. Corrected because I didn't know this was an official DOJ release. Pisco here says, show us the communications between your organization and Tenet Media reps. We need to verify this. Remove the beanie and all is forgiven. Bruh. When are you changing from a beanie to a Ushanka? You're a communist, this guy says. Bro, nervous as right now. Maybe you can share a cell with Steve Bannon. What did Steve Bannon do again? This is something with Trump. Steve Bannon. 6 days ago, Steve Bannon asked federal judge to release him from prison early. Steve Bannon, the right-wing podcaster and former Donald Trump aide, asked a federal judge on Thursday to release him from prison early as he continues to challenge his contempt of Congress conviction. Interesting. Bannon is one of 2 former members of Trump's inner circle who face prosecution for not participating in the House January 6 probe. The second, former Trump White House aide Peter Navarro, has already served a 4-month prison sentence for his conviction. When the now-defunct House panel saw documents and testimony from Bannon in 2021, it pointed to alleged communications between Bannon and Trump in the days leading up to the January 6 Capitol attack, as well as comments Bannon made on his podcast the day before the riot that all hell is going to break loose tomorrow. Tim, the attack on you is a political smear job, and critics should note that even the DOJ doesn't accuse Tim or anybody else at Tenet of doing anything improper or illegal. I mean, that's actually true. I don't know about smear job, but it is true that even in the article, seemingly, based on what they found in the indictment, they didn't implicate any of these podcasters. They said it was unknowing for them, right? Unknown by them. Interesting. I don't care if they got Russian money. So many MFs are funded by sketchy shit. Like, just don't watch it. I don't know why it's illegal. It's illegal for a foreign government to attempt to influence our media and elections without disclosing it, right? That is, like, that's not... I don't think so many people are funded by shady people. I think... If you're running a public podcast that's being influenced by a foreign government and you're in the United States and you're being paid to like promote their propaganda, I feel like that is worthy of conversation, you know? I think that should be talked about. Yeah, one guy in chat is right. They literally lied and covered up their funding. That's why the DOJ is coming after them. They used a shell company. Lauren Chen's from Canada. Okay, well, I mean, in both cases, like, same thing, right? Canada's not Russia as far as I know. I don't know. I don't care that much. I'm not a super politically invested guy, but I feel like a foreign government trying to, especially Russia, right? Who's like, you know, they don't really have our democratic values. You know, Putin is not like, you know, legitimately in power. Lots of allegations of him political opponents to maintain power, you know. Just because you disagree with it doesn't mean it's misinformation, lol. Okay, let's say there's no misinformation, hypothetically. I still don't think it's right for a foreign government to be paying our political commentators to spread their messaging to the people without disclosing it at the very least publicly, right? Like, I think that should be publicly disclosed, you know, who's funding that person, because that would elucidate a lot about, you know, how viewers feel about the kind of opinions and information they're posting, right? These people are traitors, if this is true. Well, I don't know if Tim Pool's a traitor. If he didn't know, he's not really a traitor. You know what I mean? Like, if I found out that like a YouTube commentator was being funded by Lebanon's government, I would be kind of weirded out that they didn't disclose that publicly, right? I feel like that should be talked about. He's a traitor till he removes the beanie. Lol. We'll see how that goes. Well, we looked at the Tim Pool thing. W Riz.